Welcome to another week. It's a little bit chilly. I have to say I had to be starting this with a wicket down or two, but anyway, I'll let other people update me on any wickets going down while I'm talking. Obviously I'm talking bridge here, not cricket. So let's have a look. What have we got going on our lives and sites? Well, the topic at the moment is suit establishment, so we'll be talking about suit establishment today. And we will, on Fridays on the site, we're changing our topic. We're going to do some declare play on there. We're going to be looking at suit combinations. So we've been doing a lot on one no trump doubled and all sorts. We've been exploring all sorts. It's been quite fun, really. But now we're going to suit combinations. And the special offer this week is teams. Teams, for those of you who wanted to join us. Don't forget, if you are a member already, you get the teams included. And on the subject of the teams, we've won 9 in a row. We've won 9 in a row. So I'm going for 10 this week, so that's going to be exciting. I should be saying that you gentlemen should really be, and ladies, should be concentrating on the bridge. Surely you should be watching cricket as well. So 9 in a row. We've won 9 teams in a row. So we're going to try and win a 10th this time. So that's good. So we'll see how you go. Well, see how we go. So it should be fun. Should be fun. Okay, so what have we got else going on? Well, we've got holidays, of course. Majorca, I'm going to talk about a little bit over the next week or so. Thankfully, we've got to a place where we've been able to shift the Majorca Holiday. So we've got one going in October of this year. Will and Sylvia will be doing that, and we have got then hopefully I'm doing one in April. I'll be doing one in April of next year, I should say. Next year. So that would be 2020. What year are we now? 2022. So looking forward to that. Okay. Okay, and so what are we doing today, though? Well, I'm looking at establishing a long suit a little bit more subtly. Okay. Today, we'll look at, obviously, our hand evaluation. And then we'll finish with the bidding quiz as well, and we'll have a tip of the day, which sometimes I do forget, so I apologise for that. Is my mic on? I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Everybody seems to be okay, except for the odd person, so I think it's just the maybe the odd echo. Okay, so let's start with that hand evaluation, which of course some of you will have already seen, so let's go to that. I've got to remember what I've got to touch, so there we go. So here you go. This is the hand I left those of you who were with me on Friday with, and we'll come back to it after our little bit of seminar. And so I want you to have a little think about that, really. And if I'm honest, it's going to be quite prevalent in the talks that I'll be doing on Friday, is the way we will talk about and explain that hand is going to be explained by looking at suit combinations. Okay, so, and that's important. So that's the hand to look at. Think about what you would respond to an opening bid. That's the interesting one. What would you respond to an opening bid of, let's say, 1 heart? Have a think about that. Okay, so just come back to me a second. So I'm going to just quickly put in the next deal for me. No, that's not what I want. So bear with me a second while I just put a couple of hands in there. And then we will be ready to go. Okay, so we're going to go to the seminar now. And the seminar is making the most of your long suits. So now that's what we've been talking about on the site. I love long suits, I'm going to be honest. Today we're going to look at a little precarious suit, and we'll see how we get on with it. The kind of suit we'll see today, what we'll do is we'll see it a lot more in a couple of weeks' time, because we will be then looking at suit contracts, and the ability to establish suits and suit contracts is a wonderful thing. Okay, is a wonderful thing. I should say hi to Jen in Sydney there. Nice to see you. Well, not see you, but you know what I mean. Okay, so let's look at this hand. This is the hand I wanted to focus on. Notice east-west vulnerable in the top left corner, if you will. Okay, east-west vulnerable. That's going to be quite crucial on this hand because you're going to have a decision to make. Not that you're going to be allowed to make the decision because I'm going to put us in a contract, but you'll see what I mean. So here's the contract. Here's your hands, and the auction starts from north, and north opens 2 spades, believe it or not. What do you fancy with the east hand over 2 spades? And although it's not ideal, I think you've sort of got to double. You'd love to have 4 cards in hearts, you'd love to have 4 cards in diamonds and 4 cards in clubs, but I think you've probably got to double. Okay, and the point is you've got 14 high card points. With 12 high card points in this shape, I would probably pass. I would say that this is just, it's so far to the top end of a weak no trump that I'm prepared to double with it. You know, often I'll say if you've got a weak no trumps, don't bid, but this looks better, so I'm doubling it, particularly because that shortage in spades. Now your partner has a decision to make. Okay, notice the vulnerability here. Okay, now you can see the 2 hands, and it is possible that you will get more out of 2 spades doubled, so West could conceivably choose to pass 2 spades doubled. The only problem I've got with a pass is the weakness of the spades there. Okay, so the 6, 5 and 4. So vulnerable, I think it's reasonable to bid 3 no trumps. As it happens on this particular one of the layouts, you will find that a pass will make 800 and one you'll make 500. So just to clarify for those of you not used to the scoring, east-west are vulnerable. So east-west game means east-west are vulnerable. So if you can make 3 no trumps, you make 600 points. So you would need to get 2 spades doubled at 4 off. Because when we say east-west game, it means north-south are non-vulnerable. So 3 off doubled is only 500. And 4 off in 2 spades takes some doing. As it happens, you have got chances on this particular hand, but that's another matter. So anyway, for the purposes of my seminar, I want us to be playing the contract clearly. So you're in 3 no trumps. And, well, what do you think? Because I can see all of you saying 3 no trumps, but are you actually going to make it? Okay, because there are a lovely 8 top tricks. The Queen of Spades is led, there's no surprise in that, and we're pretty sure that South is going to discard. Let's be honest, I think South is probably going to discard on the Queen of Spades, but that's by the by. Notice how bad our spades are. So there's 8 top tricks, but we have work to do. We have work to do. And those of you who've had a look at the big seminar on our seminar, the big seminar on our site, will have already heard me. My simple rule is when I've got a 5 card suit, I will always contemplate that long suit. Okay, I am always going to contemplate. Now, bear in mind that I'm not contemplating spades. And remember, you only ever duck in a suit if you're trying to break communications. Well, we know that South hasn't got any. So there's no reason to duck a spade at all. Because all that's going to happen is that North will either get a signal to switch, which might be better for them, or he'll just carry on leading spades. Okay? So, on this particular hand, as I say, you're going to see South discard, and that's going to be no surprise, okay? So we're always going to contemplate the long suit, and that's the crucial thing here. So I am going to contemplate clubs. And the crucial element is, what break would you require for you to make an extra club trick? And what break would you require to make an extra diamond trick? Okay. So if clubs break 4-3, I know you've got a singleton in the West hand, but if they break 4-3, you can make the 5th club. And this is why we love 5 card suits. Because so often if you've got 5, nobody else will have 5. And if you can get to the 5th round of the suit, you will have a winner. In diamonds, of course, you need a 3-3 break. And that's less likely. an exactly even break is less likely than the evenest odd break, as it were. That sounds odd. So 4-3 is reasonably common. 3-3 is not as common as 4-2. So I'd love to play on clubs. Okay. All right. So the problem we have here, we've got plenty of entries, but let's think about it. So let's look at the club suit. Okay, I am going to have to go to Q+ at some point on this one because it's easier to show the plays, so, because I know some of you saw. So the thing we're going to contemplate is ducking early rounds in suits. And why are we doing that? Well, I'm trying to, when you're trying to establish a suit with no inner strength, so both diamonds and clubs have little inner strength. So in diamonds you've got ace and king but not much underneath. In clubs you've got the ace and not much underneath. The problem with playing your high cards off early is that you might find you've just given your opponents 4 winners in clubs. Imagine South has 5 clubs on this hand. He could do, he's got a void in spades. Well, if you just simply play the ace of clubs off and play another one, he'll take 4 tricks. That's no good to me. Okay, so what we tend to do is duck early. And then after a couple of rounds, or depending on the kind of suit, after 1 round or 2 rounds, then we play the ace to see how the suit breaks. If it breaks horribly, then we still have the lead. But if you play the ace on the first round, you don't know how the suit's broken, can you see? So by ducking early, it makes a lot of difference. Let me show you what I mean. So let's say the club suit is like this. Okay, that's fine. And in fact, I'll duck an early round, I might duck the second round, then when I play the ace, the suit breaks, wonderful. Now I can play the 4th round and I can make the last trick. Now, obviously this, excuse me, is going to take a lot of entries. We've got plenty of entries. This kind of suit is my favourite kind of suit in a suit contract. Because in a suit contract, you can keep roughing and keep control. Okay, here, obviously it's less likely, but on this hand, I think it is a chance. Okay, so the suit breaks 4-3, so there is an extra trick available. However, what if the suit breaks like that? If the suit breaks like that, that's a little bit nasty, isn't it? Okay, so ideally I'm going to duck a trick, then duck a second trick. And then at that point in the play, either I've worked out that it may well be a bad break, or I can play my ace of clubs off and then see the bad break and I'm still on lead. And at that point I'll think, oh, I better not have South on lead. Okay, so that is the plan, and it's a very important plan if you're pursuing what you might call a weak suit. It is a weak suit, but it's a long suit. So I want to try to make an extra trick, but I'm going to be a little bit careful about it. Okay, so if the suit breaks 5-2, once my ace has gone, in theory, the opponents could actually make 4 tricks in it. So if I play the ace of clubs off first and a small club to the king, well then South will be left with 3 winners, and he's probably got an entry, and if he hasn't, North will have knocked out my horrible spades. So oh, don't look at that, you haven't seen that. Okay. All right, so let's go here. I've got to just quickly go through the bidding again because I've set it up here on Q+, if that's okay. So I'll just put myself, I've got to remember to put you on Q+. And what we did is I'll quickly do the auction again, if that's okay. And then we'll get going with the play. So let's play out the hand. So we're in 3 no trumps, and we'll start the play. And the Queen of Spades is led, and we'll play a small one, and no surprise, it'll take South a little bit of time probably to decide on what card to play, but no surprise that there is a discard there. No reason to duck here. Okay, you've got no reason to duck because clearly communication is broken. Okay, so we will just win we could win the ace, but I mean, everybody knows we got the king. I suppose we could have won the king. And I'm going to duck a club. Now, I don't often duck when I've got a singleton, but I've got so many entries there, it's fine. And the nice thing is, I don't want North to be on lead. If North gets the lead here, he'll play another. So I'm just going to put the 8 in there and let South win. Okay, South has won the 10. He's obviously going to switch. If he leads a spade, I might call the director. And that can only happen in live play, of course, these days. So I want to carry on with clubs, so I'm going to win in dummy. And I'm going to play another club, just a low club. Just a low club. Okay, and I do not need my spades. Okay, clearly the 6, 5 and 4 spades are not useful to me. Okay, so South has won that one, which is good news. Okay, and at this point, another heart is played, and I am going to cash the ace of clubs. And if the clubs break 4 and 3, I will see now. So let's do it. Okay. If they don't break, I will try and play a diamond, maybe, and establish my diamond trick. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. The king of clubs has fallen, and the beautiful thing is I've still got an entry. So I just play another club. Again, I do not need those spades. Okay. A heart is led. Beautiful. Okay, I'll cash the spade. You never know. They might discard lots of diamonds for me. I cross over to the king of diamonds, and then I play that club. Okay. You've worked hard for that club. Okay. But it makes, and then let's lead a diamond over. And obviously that makes. And they make the last diamond. So there was the full hand. Okay, relatively. That's not an easy hand to make. I'm going to say a lot of people would play on diamonds there because it's less hard work. Okay, what I'm going to do in a moment is we're going to look at the hand again. So just a quick look at that full hand on the PowerPoint just to clarify there so you can see the picture there. Okay, we made our 5th club here and we've made 600. Interesting that if you did choose to pass 2 spades doubled on this particular hand, you may well get 800. It's pretty unusual, but I think you should have, in the defence, you're going to make 2 diamonds, 2 hearts and 2 spades, the ace of clubs and 2 club ruffs. So you may get 800. Okay, but as we're going to see, on the next hand you've only got 500. I think 3 no trumps is the reasonable bid. Okay, so well done. Let's just, it's not an easy one, I don't think. But what we're going to do now is we're going to look at another layout. So let's do that. And let's just see how the way we've played it is important. Okay, so no, I'm not doing that. So I just close that. I've got to just press, hopefully, that button there. So bear with. Oh, I haven't gone over to Q Plus again. There's me drifting along. So I've changed it. Excuse me sometimes when I'm looking at the screen and assuming you're with me. Okay, so I've got to do the big again, of course, because I've changed the hand. But of course, it looks exactly the same to us. What's going to be different is our opponent. So 2 spades doubled pass, and we've decided to bid 3 no trumps again. Okay. And once again, what we're saying here is, we're going to assume it's the same lead. I'll be disappointed if it's not. Queen of spades lead. And before we play from dummy, we say, I want to make an extra trick from my long suit. Now, diamonds is an option, so I am looking at both of them, diamonds and clubs. But clubs is the best option, and that's the key. So we play small. Remember, we're not ducking. Okay, we're not ducking. Okay. Remember, on the previous layout, if you'd played on diamonds, you wouldn't have made an extra trick. So bear that in mind. Okay, so if you'd have played on diamonds, if you play on it and play for a specific layout, you might do. Okay, but okay, so the king of spades, we've won. Okay. And we're going to do the same play. We play a small club. We put the 8 in. And again, same start. Looks just exactly the same. Yeah, and I would assume probably the jack of hearts is going to come again. So we're going to carry on the same. And we play a low club exactly the same. We throw a spade. We don't need that. Ah. Now, we don't know that's North's last club. But it could be. Are you happy with that? There's no doubt that could be North's last club. Okay, so therefore, we're just going to bear that in mind. Okay, so remember, I'm in charge here. I may have changed your opponent's hands. Okay, so another spade is led, which is another interesting element where North has now developed his spade suit. And what's key here, and it's so important on a lot of hands, and we'll maybe look at some of these next week as well, is we are combining our chances here. So I've won the ace of spades. I could cross over to the king of hearts, play the ace of clubs in another club. But what I'm going to try and do here is try to play diamonds now and then play clubs. So I'm going to play a diamond, and I'm going to make sure that North doesn't get the lead. That's all. So I'm going to lead a small diamond, and I'm going to put the 7 in. Okay. So South wins it. That's fine. We know he can, and he's probably going to play a heart now. And now, only now, we're going to cash the ace of clubs. Okay. And if the clubs break, I can still develop them. Can you see that? So if the clubs break, I'll throw my spade. Remember, I don't need the spade. The clubs don't break. Can you see that? Okay, so the clubs have not broken, but if they had broken, I was still in a place to develop them. I've still got the King of Diamonds entry. But now, because I've ducked 2 rounds of clubs, South isn't going to make his Queen and Jack. I mean, let's have a quick look at that, just so that you can see South's hand. I'll just show you. He's still got the Queen Jack of clubs there. Okay, just showing you that. I'll close them up again. So South is sitting there with 2 club winners, but because I've just played the ace, I'm still on lead. So instead what I do now is I cash the King of Diamonds, and I'm hoping... Yeah, you're playing... Sorry, someone is talking about intra-finesses. You're playing for a particular layout in clubs. Okay, you're playing for a particular layout in diamonds, sorry. Okay, all right. So here... we can just play another diamond, and we play the ace of diamonds there, okay? And they happen to break, okay? And as Paul sometimes pointing out, they could even have broken 4-2, and you might be able to pick them up as well, okay? But what we've been able to do is combine our chances, whereas if you play a diamond too early, you probably can't combine your chances. So by playing the way we have, we've managed to combine our chances, and if we open them all up, of course, there's no more diamonds left, okay? Okay, and so we would just take the 9 of diamonds there and the Queen of Hearts, and we end up losing the last trick to North's spade. Okay. On this hand, interesting. Yeah, if North plays the Jack of Diamonds, it's a pretty intricate play. But if North had played the Jack of Diamonds, obviously you would win the trick. And you would now have to use your judgment. Really tricky, okay? To be honest, you might even play North for the Jack Singleton, because it would be a pretty impressive play from Jack to 3. So, but it would be a clever play. It would make it really difficult for you. I think if North had played the Jack of Diamonds there, we'd win the King, obviously. But can we afford to? You know, we'd play another diamond, and on this hand, as it happens, it would go 10 from South or whatever, so it would be okay. But it's interesting. So here, what we've done is we were looking. My plan was to aim for a 5-card club suit. Okay, it was aim for a 5-card club suit, but sorry, apologies, to establish my 5th club. But if they don't break, I want to combine it with the chances of 3-3 diamond break, or as mentioned, even sometimes if I just show you the previous hand, the layout on the previous hand here. I can't go back, that's strange. Okay, I can probably just go back. Let me just see. I can go back here. So if I go back to the PowerPoint, you can see here. So there is another, so in the diamond suit, so this is the previous hand. If you play a small diamond to the 7 on the first round, then you can play the King on the next, and you can therefore, and then in theory, finesse on the 3rd round. So you've got more than one option in diamonds, but what you want to do is give yourself the chance in the club suit as well, okay, which is your best chance. Bear in mind that if you play a finesse of the 7, cash the King, and then play another diamond, and North had 3 of them, you're going to look a little bit silly. So you've got to be, you'd want to know North's precise shape to play that. And so you might be able to get it right if North has 2 clubs, and that's what we did. Just let's have a look. If we look at the next hand there. So this is the hand we've just played, of course. And this time we made the 4th diamond. Really not easy here. Okay, really not easy. And for those of you who are master defenders or play a lot, you can see that sometimes playing a higher card than they might wish you to can be difficult. I think if North does play the Jack of Diamonds, South has to do some good guessing on this one, but I think probably will get it right in the end. So Interesting hand. Notice that on this layout, 2 spades doubled will only go 3 off. And so 2 spades doubled would get you 500, 3 off, but you would make 600 if you managed to make 3 no trumps. Bear in mind there was a big if on these 2 hands, particularly the previous one with the 5 needing to play on clubs. You do need to bear in mind that you do need to make the contract, whereas clearly if you were playing in 2 spades doubled, you were pretty sure you were going to get it down. Notice again, for those of you not understanding the idea of vulnerability, is if we were non-vulnerable on this hand, we would have only made 400 for no trumps, and if they were vulnerable, taking them down in 2 spades would have been really valuable. So in the middle of the screen, you can see east-west game there. That means east-west are vulnerable, north-south not. If it had said north-south game there, then of course we would be more interested in defending. So 5 card suits can make in all sorts of situations, and all I want you to do is always contemplate them. And the more we get used to making them, the more excited we will get about them in the bidding. Okay, so, you know, when you make the 5th club, on the previous one, if I just go back to the previous one, when we make the 5th club on there, you should be thinking to yourself, wow, maybe I should have added a bit on for that club in the auction kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Because you have made an extra trick with it. So you made your aces and kings, but you also made the 5th club. And so whenever I have a 5 card suit, it's always an up for me in my evaluation. And if it is a good 5 card suit, I'll be adding a full point on. Because if I've got a good suit, if that was ace king to 5 clubs, I would feel most of the time I will make an extra trick from that. Okay, because I'm going to work at it. And that's key. There's no point saying most of the time I'll make an extra trick from that and then you don't use it in the play. You've got to make sure you're using it in the play. Okay, so we'll leave the tip of the day for the moment. I will try and remember it this time. So that was the seminar, and as I say, we have been talking a lot about declare a play and making extra trick on the site, and I want to do it. Of course, I've had a few that have come up in the teams, and I'll hopefully bring those up. But do send me some out if you have. Okay, so that one was, yeah, no, absolutely. There was the idea of combining your chances is a relatively advanced thing, but it is so important where you're trying here. You were trying there to establish a suit when you've got 5 cards or whether you've got 4 cards. Someone's asking, why would you pursue a 6 card suit, a suit where you've only got 6 cards between you rather than the one where you've got 7? Well, we are contemplating the splits. So in clubs, we were missing 7 cards, but 4-3 is the most likely split. And it's more likely than the 3-3 break in diamonds. And that's the crucial thing. And you don't need to know odds in a great way, but all you need to, so you don't need much mathematics in that sense. I mean, some people love it and some people will tell you precise percentages, but the key is that a precisely even break, so that is 3-3, 2-2, they tend to be against the odds, and that's because there's only one way they can happen. Whereas when you have an uneven break, so a 4-3 break, you can have a 4-3 break and a 3-4 break. And so because there's 2 types of breaks, they end up being more common. So for example, if you're missing 5 cards, a 3-2 break or a 2-3 break makes up a lot of the breaks you will get. Okay, almost 2/3 of the time. Okay, probably about 2/3 of the time. Okay. All right, now of course, as someone mentioning there, that the fact that North has 6 spades in his hand does change the percentages of the length he's going to have in cards. So we certainly expected South to have longer clubs, but of course we didn't know whether they were going to be 4 or 5, etc. Okay, but it certainly makes the 3-3 break less likely in diamonds. Okay, so let's go back to my PowerPoint, not my PowerPoint, my evaluation hand. I'm flicking around all over with the evaluation hand, so let's just go to that. I'll tell you what, I'll leave them all open because that's what we're going to talk to. So we looked at this south hand, excuse me, and what we said was I wanted you to assess it. And to be honest, we don't like bare honours. Now, I've clearly exaggerated a little. I've given you all of your spot cards between the 3 and the 5. Okay, we will be looking at long suits next week as well. And those of you who are on the side, of course, have been looking at them most of the time. Okay, so we're just trying to keep to our time. So here, have a look at this. This south hand is really poor. Okay, no aces. I'm not sure I saw acelessness early, but as I say, there's no meat and drink to the suits there. There's no meat and drink. So I love 10s and 9s. Even 9s and 8s can be handy. And as you can see, what I've done is I've given north and south none of them. And that makes such a difference in the play. It's ugly. So obviously here the auction is going to start 1 heart. Okay, and it's going to be your bid. And 4 full is a good description, yeah. Okay, and the question is, what do you respond to that? Okay, so it goes 1 heart, pass, and it's your response. And I think it's not the normal response is 2 clubs, and I do not mind you doing that. But you might feel that the hand is possibly 6 to 9 points. Okay, is possibly worth 6 to 9 points. So, and if you do, you're going to bid 1 no trump. Can you see that? Okay, so all I need is a 10 in there, and I'm bidding 2 clubs. I need, or put a king and a queen together. If you have the king, queen of diamonds, or king, queen of spades, it's a normal 10 count. But it's the fact that every single honour's by itself and you have not got any meat. Now, to be fair, the Queen of Hearts is usually a bit more strong because it's in partner suit. So the opening bid is a little bit more encouraging. But of course, I'm short in the suit. So that's discouraging. So I think on this occasion, I might choose 1 no trump. And if you do, you get to a brilliant contract. Okay. Because of course, 1 no trump may scrape home. You have to play it really well, believe me. I did have a go at playing it and I did scrape home in it. But it is, you do need a bit of luck. Okay, it is pretty horrible. And it's a horrible hand to play. And we've seen a few of those in the teams matches that we've had over the last couple of weeks where a few people have had to play 1 no trump where they've had no meat and drink and it's been awful. And you can sometimes find yourself, before you know it, going 1 or 2 off. Here, I think you're going to make 6 tricks, but making 7 is not easy here. It really isn't easy. I happened to make it on an end play at trick 12, I think. East was left on lead, having to lead away from the ace of spades. But you'll only, because none of the honours are together, can you see, you lead up to the king of spades, for example, but you can't lead up to another honour, because if I lead back to the queen, it loses. You lead up to the queen of clubs, bang, king kills it. And in hearts, you've got nowhere to go because the king's going to kill your queen and there's nothing behind them. So let's say you lead the queen, the finesse works. It goes queen, king, ace, but of course they've got the 10, 9, 8, 7. So it's really horrible. You're going to make 2 hearts, 2 diamonds, a club, a spade, and you may not make any more tricks. You may not make any more tricks. And so if you do manage to stay in 1 no trump, well done. Of course, in point count terms, there are 25 points there. And so there will be a lot of people in 3 no trumps. So do not worry if you go 1 off in 1 no trump. It'll probably score okay because most people will be in 3 no trumps -2 or 3. So bare honours. And as I say, that is something that we're going to be looking at in terms of suit combinations and trying to work out the best way of playing certain combinations. And we're going to find it's much easier to make plans when you've got lots of honours together, whereas when the honours are split, it is hard work. Okay. Okay, so don't forget if it goes 1 heart, 1 no trump, that's the end of the auction, obviously. If it goes 1 heart, pass, 2 clubs, 2 no trumps, 2 no trumps is a forcing bid. So even if you don't like your 10, once you've bid 2 clubs, you have said you are promising 10. So over 2 no trumps, you've got to bid 3 no trumps, because for some people, a 2 no trump bid is 15 to 19. So you cannot be passing. So once you have made the decision to bid 2 clubs, you are saying to your partner, I'll show you the hand again, just in case. Once you're bidding 2 clubs, you are saying, partner, I have 10 points. I am going to bid as if I have, because I'm promising you that. So if you do bid 2 clubs, you've got to stick with it. You cannot pass a 2 no trump rebid, which is, you know, because your partner could have had 17 points for that rebid. Can you see? So if you make the bid of 2 clubs, you've got to stick with it. It's really important that. Okay, it's like when you open light. If you make an opening light bid, you can't then change your mind later. Once you've chosen to open, you are saying, I feel my hand is worth an opening bid. Does that make sense? Okay, so go with that. Okay, so we've got our tip of the day coming up. I've got a prize winner. Our prize winner was Heather Lickley. Heather Lickley, so well done to Heather. That makes our full table for the prize winning teams in February. So well done, Heather. And I will find Heather a partner from one of our team. And just one last thing, I will take that question. So let's go back there. Someone asking whether you should downgrade the North hand. I would not feel so. With 3 aces and the ace jack, I would, combinations, there is a combination, I think it's worth 15. I think it's reasonable. It's not brilliant, but it's reasonable. Notice that the South hand there had no aces as well. So there's a lot of downgrading the South. I think the North is a bare 15, but I think it's worth 15, and I would open it 1 heart there. Quick talk about the site. Don't forget our special offer. We try to have 1 special offer per week. It tends to vary between a Friday live, one of our seminars with set hands, and the teams. Don't forget, all of these offers are not for members, because the members already have them. Okay, so they're for the non-members, and the teams is going to be the special offer this time. So that's our Wednesday teams, and you can get that at your half price. And we're going for 10 in a row. Don't forget. And don't forget the holidays. We've got all sorts, and we haven't quite got our UK ones on sale. I will be telling you about those as soon as I do. I'm hoping that will come, or at least I'll get permission to start this week. But we will. Everybody gets a free month on the website for any booking that you make. So whether you're a member or not, you get that. So a non-member gets a free month, and any members, they get the credit for a month. And in fact, I'm hoping that all founder members will get the equivalent, once they actually go on the holiday, of another 2 months. So that's 3 months you will get. That's your credit, as it were. You get 1 month when you book and 2 months when you go, as it were. And for other members, you also get 2. So you will be getting your credit there for holidays, but we'll explain that as we go. Okay. So let's look at our PowerPoint tip. And this was supposed to be last week's tip, but I think I forgot about it. So I'm assuming I haven't done this already, but it's a nice and simple tip, of course, and that is lead partner suit. Okay, lead partner suit. If partner makes a bid, lead it. It is a very simple tip. And the point is, if it's wrong, it's not your fault. And as a beginner and a novice, that is crucial, because you're always nervous. And for me, this is really important as a partnership. This is particularly important when I make an overcall. If I make an overcall in an auction, I want my partner to lead that suit. So when I make that overcall, I am making it knowing that my partner will lead it, so that if I make an overcall on a really bad suit, I get what I deserved. And someone's asking, even at no trumps, absolutely. Do you trust me for my overcall, or do you trust the opponents for bidding 3 no trumps? Okay, so I'm playing with you. I've made an overcall. They've bid 3 no trumps. Who do you trust? Okay, and when I bid 3 no trumps, I need 1 stopper, because I'm bold. So let's give a simple example. You may have seen this one already, but this is a classic example. This is your hand. You're sitting south. The opponent's had an auction. 1 spade, 2 hearts from your partner. Okay, 3 clubs, of course you're going to pass. 3 spades, pass. 3 no trumps. Okay, so 1 spade on your left, 2 hearts from your partner, 3 clubs, 3 spades from them, 3 no trumps. And on an auction like this, your partner's made a 2-level overcall, they've bid 3 no trumps, and you've got 5 points. How many points has your partner got? I don't think he's got much. Okay, I don't think he's got much. And my philosophy is this: if I ever bid on weak hands, I will have very strong suits. Now, it's different for weak jump overcalls. For a normal overcall, for example, if I make a bid at the 1 level and I've only got 6 or 7 points, I would say all of those points are going to be in my suit. King, Queen, Jack to 5. I'm happy to make an overcall because I know it's the right lead. North has made a bold overcall here. Okay? I would expect him to have at least 3 of the top 5 cards in hearts because he's clearly not got much playing strength. East is thinking, well, partners bid like that, but we've got enough points for game. 3 no trumps is the most likely game. If he's got the ace of hearts, are you telling me he's not going to bid 3 no trumps? I'm leading a heart here. Okay, is everybody happy with that? The normal lead, if my partner hadn't bid, would be the King of Diamonds. Okay? The normal lead, and in fact the King of Diamonds works really well here. The King of Diamonds knocks out the ace and we'd make 3 tricks. But that does not take the contract off. Now look at your partner's hand there. Can you see? We trusted him. We trusted our partner, and of course he's got 5 hearts, but he's got wonderful hearts. And East has made a perfectly reasonable bid. I think we'd all bid 3 no trumps on the East hand. Do you know what I mean? You know you're going to get a heart lead, but you feel surely there's a chance of making. And you've got 8 top tricks, and you're a little bit unlucky. You're a little bit unlucky not to make, you know, but bear in mind that 2 hearts, a 2-level overcall, even non-vulnerable, should have strength. So you expect your partner to have an entry. Okay, so you'd expect North to have an entry for the bid. I mean, we were hoping it might have been an ace, okay? So the King of Hearts, by leading a heart to our partner's 9, we trusted him, we've led his suit. And as I say, if a diamond lead would have got it down and a heart lead wouldn't, it would not be your fault, okay? So don't forget, the auction here went 1 spade from west, 2 clubs, 2 hearts from north, 3 clubs, of course, 3 spades, 3 no trumps, okay? So it's just a normal 3 no trumps here. It's a normal, and if my partner hadn't been bold and bid 2 hearts, I'd have led a diamond, and they may have scraped home. Of course, de Clercq would have to take the ace on this hand because of the heart overall. I think de Clercq has to gamble and take the ace at trick 1 of diamonds, because otherwise he knows that they've got hearts as well. Okay. And of course it turns out that he will make if he takes the ace of diamonds at trick 1. So lead your partner suit, very simple, okay? And as I say, if you're in a regular partnership, discuss. Overcalls are so important. If your partner is overcalling regularly on rubbishy suits, well then you have to discuss what your priorities are. Because from my point of view, when I make that 2-heart overcall, I feel I'm taking a risk, but I'm prepared to do it because I want my partner to lead hearts. And when my partner does not lead a heart, I think why? Because my partner should be able to write me a 122-word essay on why he hasn't led a heart. I know 122 words probably isn't an essay, but you know what I mean. He has to find a good reason. So hopefully a nice and simple reason there. Nice and simple tip, but really important. And to be honest, as a novice starting out in bridge, etc., really there's not much reason. And someone's saying there, surely if you've got an ace-king lead, that's less likely, because obviously if the bidding's been going on and your partner's made a bid and you've got an ace-king, 1 you might have got in the auction. But if you do, you've got to have a good reason. So if I've got, don't get me wrong, if I had I don't know, ace, king, queen, jack, 10 of a suit in my partner's bid and they're in 3 no trumps, I'm going to lead them. If I've got a void in my partner's suit, etc. You know, there are different reasons, but the point is when I make a different lead, my partner will think, why? okay? My partner will think, why? You're thinking, someone's saying there, what if the heart is a frozen suit? My partner's bid them. They're not going to be a frozen suit. My partner's holding in the suit is going to be so powerful. So to make a 2-level overcall on a weak hand, he's got to have a powerful suit. So it isn't frozen. Frozen suits are those ones, funnily enough, we saw on that that hand of the day, as it were, where basically the cards are individual. So if my partner's overcalled on king, small, 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 that's a different matter. Well then, I'm going to tell him off for overcalling on that suit. And that's why when we overcall, we love to have stronger suits. One proviso, of course, is when partner opens the bidding, he is not choosing. His system is choosing which suit he opens, not him. So there is a subtle difference there. When you open the bidding, we'll open sometimes with 5 to the 9 or 4 to the 9 even, because our system says please bid. Okay, so I think we've covered most of what we were going to cover today. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've got our bidding quiz, of course, so let's just quickly put that up. Don't forget, you can always get the answer here, there and everywhere. The bidding starts 1 club from you, pass 3 clubs, and this is in standard ACOL, so there's no inverted minors or anything like that involved here. 1 club from you, 3 clubs from your partner, pass, and it's your bid. Okay, 1 club, 3 clubs, and it is your bid. Okay, so that's quite a tricky one, I think. Okay, 1 club, 3 clubs, and your bid. So you can see the answer to that both on our website, or obviously the members can see it as well. So have a think about what you might bid there after 1 club, 3 clubs. As I say, quite tricky, that one. I think we might get quite a few answers. So we talked about all sorts on the site. We are talking about establishing long suits, and we are talking about on Fridays, we're going to be talking about individual suit combinations. Those of you who don't know what suit combinations are, it's simply how do you play the diamonds with that particular layout, if you see what I mean. And we will hopefully make our way through all sorts of little combinations, and people will give some suggestions to look at and various things. Okay, we've got our holidays on the site, and we've got the teams on special offer this week, so don't forget that. Hopefully be hearing from some of you throughout the week, and remember, we're always here on Monday for non-members as well, and you're welcome to look around the site on our holidays, etc. So thanks very much, everybody, and look forward to seeing you either next week, on Wednesday, Friday, or somewhere on the site. Thanks very much.